Hey Mark, how's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
Another nice day.
Beautiful day.
I know. Kind of got nice. Tried to go for a paddle. It was like too windy. I don't want
Well,
to.
the mosquitoes, I mowed the lawn and the mosquitoes are attacking like crazy, even in the day.
Yeah, I don't got anywhere. But look where you are. You got grass. You're cutting grass, and there you got plants and all that stuff in the back. So
And
trees.
it's
So
wet. So
it's wet. Yeah.
yeah, that big storm.
Yeah. So
So,
go ahead.
well, remember when we were talking about me doing a year to date breakdown month to month kind of on all the stats and put it in one spreadsheet and then we'll keep that spreadsheet going?
Yep.
So I did it.
Good, because I think this is important for people because it's so up and down right now, right? We're seeing some strong movement in the beginning of the year, down, 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 lots of listings, middle of month, sales are crap. And then we look at it on a year to date, it's not that bad.
No, and you know what's funny? Is that this last week, I guess we'll see when we do our month end numbers. I saw a lot of sales. I
So
told you that. Like,
yeah, I was surprised. I saw lots too. A lot of conditionals, a lot of firmed up. So, and not a lot of inventory, coming, you know what I mean? We're not seeing the inventory being replenished at a fast pace because
not as fast. So maybe the month at the end will even out.
I hope it does. I think we'll see some better things. Some things are turning.
So this is interesting.
Okay, let's go through it.
So this is 2024 over here.
Okay,
This is 2023.
okay, got it.
So sales in January 142, last year 101. Actives were only 287 last year, 416 this year.
Huge, eh?
Even in January, though, see what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you though, that condos combined in that number, because that number seems high.
No, I don't
Really?
know. This is stats out of the Toronto board.
Okay,
Active
it's gonna be
listings
combined. It's gonna be combined. Yeah,
combined.
it is gonna be that number because I
So last year 287, this year 416.
yes, it's high.
Last year sales in February 144, this year 185.
Yep,
So again, February was up.
yep. Transactions.
Transactions.
Yep.
But the inventory last year only went to 319 and we went up to 455.
Mhm.
Still not that big of a jump from 416.
Not really. No, no,
March
no.
sales 230.
Yep,
Last year 224, so almost the same.
yep. Pretty
Our
flat.
actives went 363, so they increased over here too.
Yes, which is normal.
And then we're at 510.
Okay.
Now here is what the weird thing is to me, okay? April this year 211, last year 214. So for 2 months we're basically the same.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the actives, look at here, they went down between March and April last year.
Hmm.
And here, what did we see?
It went.
138 spike.
Yeah, it was a big spike. We've seen a lot of inventory come on, right? We've seen a ton, and April wasn't a good month for weather either, right? Felt
No,
like winter.
I'm gonna see if I auto sum now. Oh, this little thing's in my way. What the different is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, let's see if you can get it first. So you're just adding them all up.
Mm-hmm. So our sales are still up,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
We had a couple quiet weeks the last few weeks. Last week we seen some things, right? Long weekend, of course, is that week was kind of quiet, but there were some sales done because we've seen a lot of conditionals over the weekend.
I seen a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I was surprised at those numbers. So when we're
So that's a
reporting,
12% increase over last year.
yeah,
Well, 11.7
in transactions.
in sales. Yeah.
Right. So, and, you know, and we're seeing still in a lot of price range categories, the numbers are pretty much flat to last year. We are seeing some decreases in some price ranges and stuff like that. I've seen a few, more in the higher ranges. I've seen a little bit more of a pullback in that area from last year. And even some of the towns where, you know, we were seeing some, you know, towns, it was pretty common to see a townhome last year in March sell for over 7. It's very uncommon to see it today.
Well, and you know, another thing that's funny. So me and you both don't like to look at the average price too much.
I don't.
But in January this year was 729 and last year was 740.
Mm,
But then look, 770.
yeah,
And this one went up just a little, 744.
yeah.
Then we went back down to 768. But last year it also went down at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yep,
See, it was 744, went to 723.
yep.
And then it went down again to 766. But last year we saw an uptick,
Yeah,
40 grand.
yeah,
Now, remember when I was looking for houses in the in May, June and stuff, and there all those bidding wars started?
yeah. They start even before then, though.
Well, this is obviously, it started in April.
I saw it even in March too, when the inventory, March, I saw February, March, April, more March. And then, of course, April's still a big month too. Yes. Then it slowed
So,
down summer.
well,
Lot.
usually it does, but is it gonna? Like normally, okay, normally January and February suck.
Well, they normally do,
But they
but
didn't, Mark. Look. January was up, February was up, March was level, April was basically under. January, February, the sales were higher than they were last year.
I think this year too, because I had some younger buyers too. They seen the inventory. There wasn't a lot of inventory. They saw the bidding wars in February. Again, no inventory. They kind of got afraid of missing out, kind of thing, and kind of, you know, jumped in a little quicker to get some things done. In the lower, this is lower ranges, but yeah, I find I do decently in February, in March, in April,
Well,
but
April actually sucked. March and April were,
pretty flat.
April, the sales were actually down from last year.
Three
I
turns
mean,
off.
3,
Minimal.
but look at the spike in the inventory.
The spikes is massive spike. And that's the thing. So let's talk about the inventory though. Even when we've gone through the mid-month, we broke it down by inventory range, and 80, 25% of this range is selling, 30% of this range, 10%, 8%. There's still a lot of inventory out there, Dan, that is sitting on the market in all categories. All
Yes.
categories. I looked at a property for a client, asked me to give me my feedback on it. It was 19 Cherry Hill Lane, off of the new Mapleview area by that new high school. 699. Well, right away I knew it was not 699, so I go through it. 3 bedrooms, nice looking townhouse, but one of those back-to-back ones, are stackable, like back-to-backs, where there's very hardly any. I couldn't tell there was a yard. There was no pictures of. Anyway, holding off on offers from until May 13th. We are at what, the 21st today. Nothing. Some listings were, so I pulled up to see if I could find any sales in that range of, let's just say 8, or even I was looking for any sales on the street. None. You know, with even last year, people were trying to sell them on assignment sales for the 8, even some in 900K. You're not getting that for a 1,200 square foot townhouse today. That isn't happening.
No.
Buyer probably bought that in late 2021 or 2022 and paid a fortune for it. That's
Well, there's one in Aurelia that my client called me today, and I won't give the address, for $299.
all right.
He said, "Is this a joke?" And I said, "No, it's not a joke. They're probably trying to get a bidding war."
Well,
And the offer date's today.
when was it listed?
They had it up for like almost 10 days, and the offer date was today. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well,
299. It's fully detached.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just stupidness to me. Like I don't believe in that. I believe in the strategy to drive people, but to the market. But what's it worth?
I think it's probably worth, it's over 5 anyway, 550, 6 maybe. I
So,
think I actually showed the property years ago.
right.
I looked at it, I think I have.
Yeah, that's kind of silly. You get everybody going there and then follow it up. I'd like to, next time we do a video on it, let's bring
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
up.
let you know. So
Yeah.
here, when we did our mid-month update, our active listings were 555, the sales were 91. And this is in May, and
Okay.
so only 16% are selling in Barrie.
So there's the question. So right back to what we got look at that. So what 84% again of the active listings, and let's go back. Let's keep that screen up. So might as well go through them. I think it's up. We did it for a reason. Let's go through those numbers where 84% of those listings aren't selling. Why aren't they selling?
Well, I think because there's no, to me, it's because the market is slow and the buyers are waiting. Like, you know, that one I told you
Yes and
that,
no, because things have picked up. This is only done what, 2 days, 4 days ago, these numbers?
yeah.
We're seeing picked up, a lot more inventory in the market, a little bit more choice. But I think it's more than that. I still think there's some wrong pricing in a lot of some certain ranges in our community.
Well, that property, remember I told you about the
Overinflated,
tenant that just got a rental
right?
in June or in January, now they want to sell it?
Right,
She told me it got listed last Tuesday or Wednesday.
right.
She said 28 showings.
20 showings. Wow.
And then as far as she knows, it hasn't sold. There's buyers, Mark.
Well, yes and no. I think there's buyers for certain ranges and for certain product in neighborhoods, yes. But I'm concerned when I'm seeing 91 sales that 16% of them are selling. So at the halfway point, it'd be interesting to see how much of this inventory, because we'll break it down at the end of the month, May, and see. So let's just say it goes to 30% or 40%, 60% isn't selling.
Yeah.
That's a big number. I don't care that's a massive number. Why isn't it selling? There's a comment that hit my YouTube channel today, and I said, "You're 110% right." He says, "Every time I drive around Barrie, I don't see Barrie real estate signs. I see Toronto agent signs." And he says, "When are they going to get the pricing right?" Guys, 100% correct. I really believe a lot of those agents are pricing for their markets what they're working full time on.
I don't totally agree with you because, I've been showing some houses here. Okay. This weekend, I told you every day I was out showing
Mhm.
local agents,
How many did you show?
5.
Okay, but there's 555 listings.
Well, and I'm showing 2 more tomorrow that I've already did kind of research on too.
No.
And that was local agent too. One of them was an out of town agent and it was priced stupid.
Well, so you know what I'm
But
going
I
to do?
see local agents doing it too.
Some
You've
are,
you've
some
seen it
are,
too
some
with,
are,
you won't
some
mention the
are.
team name
Oh,
on Blue
100%.
Water Trail.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I'm seeing it too. And I don't know where this pricing has come from. It's going, are we back in 2022? It's property in Taylor. We've talked about it before. I looked at it today.
Me
Oh,
too.
surprise. Started off at 1.4. We said, you know what, that's never going to happen. They paid 1.4 for it. They bought it in 2022, I believe, or 2020. Yeah, 2022, or I think it was 2022. Paid, and they renovated. Did a nice job renovating it. Well, they paid 1.4. They probably put 100 into it. Nice backyard, everything like that. The pool was existing. Now they're in the 1.279 range.
I
That's what,
saw it.
right? The Toronto agent, nothing's selling at 1.4 in that neighborhood. Nothing's selling like that in subdivisions. It's got to be pretty special for that. So,
Well, it's got to be on Plunkett for Christ's sakes,
yeah, pretty
or
much,
Dock Road,
pretty
or one
much,
of those like right near the water.
pretty much. So looking at the other communities too, you should pull it back up. We're seeing the same kind of thing. where, right, 'cause I think there's Innisfil, I did West
Yeah, I
Gwillimbury.
thought we were gonna do one on just that though.
Yeah, I just want to talk, I'm not gonna talk about this because those aren't my markets. I don't really know. But it's saying, again, look at the trend, right? They're stealing a lot of inventory as well. Look at the sales. I think that was wrong, but anyway,
Oh, this one's wrong.
yeah, that's okay. Big deal. But again, 11% in Bradford. What's the other 89%? Aurora, 11%.
This is probably 12.8, not
Oh.
12.
So we're seeing this consistently through Simcoe County and North York as well.
Yeah.
A lot of inventory sitting there not turning.
Well, and if you look out of all of it, Barrie is actually second highest compared to Newmarket and then Vaughan at 16 as well. Innisfil, Bradford, East Gwillimbury, Aurora, Richmond Hill are worse than we are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you look at some of like the inventory levels of Vaughan, 601, look, we're at 555. And that's not a lot of inventory, even in Newmarket, 192. Right? And I went again, this is done last week.
Well, I don't know. Isn't Newmarket close to the same population as Barrie?
Smaller.
How much smaller? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know. It's smaller. You know, and the home prices are higher as well. But again, we're seeing the consistent thing. A lot of inventory, a certain amount of the inventory is turning over. A lot of it isn't turning over. That's the bigger question. I think that, and you know, the other 95% of the comments are just inflated prices on the YouTube channel. Everything's inflated, everything's inflated, everything's inflated. Big crash is coming. We're not seeing the big crash coming.
Well, and you know what? This is the thing. That's why the comments about, well, because the prices are going to drop more, the prices are going to drop more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they might drop more, but another client I talked to today, okay, he says, well, Diane, and he's, you know, a numbers guy in accounting and stuff like that. He says, like, I did all the numbers. Get this, we should do a video on this. He did the numbers at 5%. If he paid 550, what his mortgage would be. If the mortgage goes down to 3% and he has to pay 580 because the prices go up by 10, 15, 10%, even 5%, okay? His mortgage would be more money at 3% paying 580 than if he pays 550 right now paying 5%.
Why?
Why? You don't know why?
2% difference? How much?
Yeah,
The price
because when you pay the higher price, that interest rate, you do the math. You put in 550. Well, he's going to put a down payment, but you put in like 500 at 5%, and then you put in 530 at 3%.
Well, yeah, that's 20 grand. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's more, it was a little bit more than 20 grand. So if you're increasing the value of the house, you're better off paying a higher interest rate now and a lower price for the house. And then when interest rates fall, you're fucking grooving.
Well, it depends what product people are taking. I think a lot of people are not going to roll the variable dice right now. I don't know. I know.
No, I had a spreadsheet at one point with that, and Jessica did it too. That if you do a 2% interest change, if the house is $50,000 more, you're better off buying it now and paying a higher interest.
Yeah.
It's a lower fucking payment.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Well, I don't want to say the math because I suck at math, but sure we do a video that as long as you break it down and we show it, it would be good. I think, remember, if you like this content, give it a like, give it a share, follow for more information. Any questions on the Barrie real estate market or Simcoe County, reach out to us, give us a call, give us a text, email, whatever.
Perfect.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.